got ourselves team 1 to go with my boy, Cries Bad, dude. The Night Elf. I'm so used to him being an orc, man. Night Elf does suit you, but I'm so used to him being an orc. We got ourselves Wrestled Hell. We got ourselves. This guy didn't really get to play Civ. Savonia? I'm gonna go with Savonia. We got Mage. You know what? When he said he just removed his pants and his chest piece or robe and shoulders, I think it might have been right. I don't think it was a mog. I think he just did try to make this more challenging for himself. And we got us as Leo on that team. Guerreros over on team 2 are ready to go. I kind of like the whole purple look he's got going on with the hammer. It's kind of like pinkish compared to the purple, but I think it's about as close as you can get. I love the earbuds though. They're so good. Merciless gonna be first up over for the team 2 versus Cries Bad. Cry Sir. Cry Sir. Why did you... I kind of remember. I remember his name way back. I don't know. It was just Chrysler. At some point, he shoots your Chrysbat. That's just been made. I was like, ah. It's like, pretty sure he changed the name because maybe he was just getting bullied. He was like, you know what? Let's just meme it up with a little. Meme it up with that here. Kind of sad, to be honest. You know what I mean? Big immunity by Merciless. Try to see if he can set up versus Cries. He does get himself a hunt. Needs to get himself a big follow-up, but a board out for the Warlock. Try to see if he can dodge Merciless with a big gateway. Does get shell shocked with that stun. Is going to go for a trick. It's second stun. It is the yard. Reflect up. Cannot be kicked while Reflect is up. Actually, hold on a second. Oh, the damage out of the Demon Hunter. He is Fell Reaver, and he is or Fell Scarred, and he is just... Holy, the damage they're putting out on one another, man. Between the I-Beam and the Chaosball, both of them are hard hitters. Mercer just needs to be very careful. He needs to get himself an angle versus Cries, land a stun. Cries preparing for the opener by the DH, but he's just melting behind the pillars. That Succubus may be enough. Does go for Succubus, you see, it is over. Unless the DH could do some kind of like a big backflip, Mortal Coil, it is lights. I like his Mog, the whole armored DH look. But that was rough, man. That was so much damage there. I honestly thought he was going to turn this around. I didn't expect that. I didn't realize he was going to be Fell Scarred. So many of you are Draki. By the way, Demon Hunter hero spec seems to be so setup heavy, by the way. Aren't all of them? One, you got to build up like damage and then throw a glaive and then use a combo ability. The other, you first have to get meta and then you have to use one ability that does a Fell Eruption. Then the next, then the next, then the next to build it. It's just so setup heavy. It's crazy. Tarfa gonna be up next. I like the set from Mopman. I feel like I like the snowy blue version a little better, or the red elite one. That one looked cool as hell. But it's a good set, man. I always love this whole big Anubarak shoulders look with that elf. I always thought it was really cool looking. Very unique. With Cries, try to see if you can avoid it. There's going to be a lot of pets. Whenever Tarfa goes in for a full drop with pets with APOC together with the big A-bomb, that's what Cries should be very careful for. Try to see if he can just get himself some sneak peek damage. Mortal Coil does get AMS, but Tarfa still taking lots of damage as the second pet joins in for Cries. Just kind of using pets versus Tarfa to just like, I guess, have a little bit of advantage of letting that Overfear do damage, letting that Infernal really just raid. Fire back-to-back wall with back-to-back bolts. Just looking to end it right then and there. Chat, you burn a wall for that one. But he does end up landing the kill. Fear onto Young, who doesn't have a kick anymore. Does go for a trick and second kick to follow. Touching the magic. Cries about making sure to pick up a Warlock house in between of that very quickly. As he got himself a bit of that survivability. With a Reflect too, Young could potentially spell steal it. But if anything, if you can time it right, if you can time it correctly, Reflect a Poly, Reflect maybe a big barrage, Reflect maybe a couple of big arcane blasts with that another precision. It is very possible to Reflect quite a bit of decent damage versus the mages. And it's like a better version of Reflect. It can be spell stolen, but it lasts for like, what, 3 seconds? But it's unlike a Warrior Reflect, where it's like as soon as it reflects, it no longer does. Only for a spell that it hits. It reflects on. Big Bolt is going to be Young diving into a block. Does blink in. Looking to get aggressive. Craftsman seeing it from a mile away. Does go for a port before the breath comes out. Trying to let himself a Cataclysm around the corner. Invis out for Young. Trying to be very careful. Could go for a kick. He does have a pet in order to properly interrupt Young. If he's not careful, he doesn't have a kick for the moment being, actually. Does end up landing it to lock him down on some of that damage as he goes in for a port. Touch of the magic. He just tried to see if he could take the touch and stay away from Young as best possible. No Mortal Coil for a second. Reflect is out, looking for a quick kick with a fear. Does get juke onto Young, so he's able to get an easy fear without any interrupts. Try to fear to follow. if he has himself any damage to follow up, those incinerates do quite a bit of damage, by the way. Once you get a bolt or Shadow Fury, those incinerates can actually do quite a decent bit, so they're worth casting. Bolt of that into incinerate. I think it might be over for Young. Does get super low. Breath onto Cries with a poly to follow. Kick is available, so he does get locked out on Arcade. It is over. It is lights. Couple of those incinerates that are always amped up by those soul charge fenders. And it's over. Cries having to go over to Plunge this time around. Really wants to switch out a pet. I don't know if he'll be able to. That intro pet ain't gonna do much for you. Drop an Infernal onto Plush's head. He just tried to see if he can avoid him as best as possible. Gateway's available. I don't know if he can maybe use it. It's gonna be a full death mark onto Cries. Does go for a juke. Can coward cast into the rogue, but it vanishes to try to see if he can stop the cast from Warlock. That Dark Pact is enough to keep himself alive. Is looking to punish the rogue with a bolt or two. Trying to go for a melt. I think that bolt connected. Second is a fast flying bolt. That smoke bomb isn't gonna stop it though. That is a lot of damage onto the rogue. With an Infernal, closes the gap, does go for the vanish. And for Cries, if he can switch out the pets quick enough, he does get a Succubus. First aid out for Plunge, but looks like he's just going to dive into stealth. It's going to be Succubus sneaking around before he can fully dive into a full reset. He does get him out in the open. Stun onto the Succubus. Cries needs to be very careful. No trinket for a while, so next lockdown with the stun is going to be deadly. Wall is almost available. He does have a Warlock Hellstone. Mortal Coil does give him a window here. Does get in decent position. Stun, it might be over. It might be lights for Plush. Cheat death. He's still alive for a second. Sipping up Cloak and Shadows. Trying to see if he can make himself a play. Blind under Cries, looking for a reset. Might be able to outrun the Succubus to catch proper reset. But he's kind of out the open. Yeah, kind of had tried. He's just focusing on trying to avoid the Succubus without Blind being so short for rogues, man. If it was still like a 6-second blind, just that 1 extra second would have been enough for him to catch a reset. But when it been 5 seconds, it is just rough, man. And he's trying to avoid the Succubus, trying to avoid the Warlock. Unless you get them both in the same position, it's super difficult to catch a reset behind the pillar. Unless you go all the way to the planks in the back. I think you probably have to reset behind the planks in the back. But yeah, that is rough. Lasso by Gower is walking into Cries. Fully healthy. Cries does have some cooldowns coming back online very soon too. Trinket available. Wall, Dark Pact, everything is back up and up, ready. It's going to be a quick kick on a Chaos Bolt, but Cries does have a way to reposition with the gate. Does try to see if he can maybe take down the Shaman Totem. I think it was a Root Totem, right? If not a Slow Totem. Dark Pact for a second. Try to go for Infernal. Big Bolt right after. Grass may need to use defenses here. That Bolt does connect. Knocking up Cries in the air for a second. Does he just stop with Fear or Tremor it? Shadow Fear right after? He doesn't have any outs. He has to go for a wall and heal. Wall and heal. Bulwark is to just keep himself alive here for a second. Turning attention onto the Succubus pet. Blasted all those bolts back to back. Trying to go for a quick new Science summon. But he knows he won't be able to unless he can go fast summon. I don't think he can though. He's kind of locked out without a pet. No, actually Succubus is still in play, but is very low health. Does he quick summon a new one? He might have. I'm not sure. Definitely not pay attention. Does catch a CC with a bolt. Follow a Mortal Coil. I think it might be over. I think it might be Lights for Gore's Fear. Hit another bolt. Oh! This guy still has it. Oh my god, he still got it. My boy Chrysler has still got it. Oh, that was beautiful. 112 million. 72 million healing, by the way, as a Warlock. A class with 0 healing. That sounds like a Warlock Hellstone here and there. Maybe a Mortal Coil or two. Pretty good. My boy. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love watching that man play. Whew. That was good.